At the loss to the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Some incredible athletes in this one, Brent. Defensively, what does it take to stay in front of somebody who's got that kind of explosive ability?
For me, a small prayer. For other guys, it's knowing time, space, distance to make sure that you can collect anybody's first move. As you know, Kevin, you can't be thinking out there. If you're caught thinking, especially defensively, you get to read the back of the jersey of the guy you're guarding quite often. Can't happen here tonight.
And it can take your mind off of the other things you've got to do.
Well, yeah, that, and then you're always using one key phrase, which coaches talk about in practice.
Yeah.
Help.
Oh, yeah.
I need help.
Help. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Denver, Murray and Harris, the guards. Hernan Gomez at small forward and Millsap at the 4. And it's Jokic in at the pivot, manning the middle.
Well, Oladipo determined there, and it pays off, and he continues to improve his outside shot.
Murray kicks to Harris. And there's the pass to Millsap. And the foul on Victor Oladipo. That is his first foul of the game. First quarter, just over a minute played. Jokic finds Millsap. And it's slammed in by Millsap.
A big man who can really dish it out. Jokic really reliable, setting up his teammates.
And for 3, Collison. And that one is off. And Denver the other way now. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year. And there's the foul, and Darren Collison picks it up. That is his first foul of the game. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Outside for Millsap. Back to Murray. Over Collison. Millsap passes to Jokic.
You could stay active on defense. Good things usually happen. Right there, quick hands help alter what would have been a sure 2 there.
Pass to Sabonis. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. On up the court. And Jokic slams it in.
Like that from Murray right there. When he's passing it like this, it can make him so much better and so much more open.
This is an unselfish group here in Denver. This team, Brent, can really pass the ball.
5th overall last year in assists, 2nd overall the year before that. And you got to give credit to Mike Malone and his coaching staff, because what they've done is they played Jokic at that point center position, distributing the ball from the top, and have guys who cut off the ball. So interesting mix of talent using their center as the passer.
Here's Sabonis. Denver getting their last shot to go. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Sabonis has a tremendous skill set for a 7-footer. Remember his dad, Hall of Famer Arvydas Sabonis, very creative in his own right.
And the first one drops.
And really one of the best assets of Sabonis is his mind for the game. Very aware on the offensive end, knows how to create chances, and just plays the game with his mind as much as his athleticism.
Harris, no good.
The human aspect of basketball. You cannot fault the shot selection. Had a clean look. You just can't make them all.
And it's Harris with the ball for Denver. And he banks in the layup. And for Sabonis, we all know his father was one of the best when it came to seeing the floor, Greg. As a big man, his passing game was terrific.
And skills like that go a long way in the NBA. Sabonis does all the little things that free up shots for himself and his teammates. Is starting to play with more aggression, and this is a guy that can be an all-star. Yeah, it looked like they tried to shoot their way out of the slump, and that didn't work. They got to go back and regroup.
Well, no matter how hard it's been, you want to stay positive, stay focused, and maybe a couple shots will get you right back in it.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Young's checked in for Sabonis. Doug McDermott comes in for Bogdanovich. Evans, he's checked in for Victor Oladipo. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Darren Collison.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Pass to Jokic. McDermott with a steal. Evans kicks to McDermott. A minute 42 left in the first. Turner finds Joseph. Back to Turner. Shot clock at 6. And it's Denver with the rebound. Here's Millsap. Here's Jokic. Outside for Murray. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic.
The good old catch-and-shoot jumper there. Murray quickly getting these shots up and over the defense.
Shot by Joseph. No good.
Just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
And the call will be against Thaddeus Young. That's his first foul. Here's Murray. 17 points for him last game against Minnesota.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
And for Jokic, just keeps getting better, Brent, but always stays very grounded in terms of his personality.
Yeah, I think his brothers had a lot to do with that. You just don't see the big ego coming out of him. In fact, you see a guy who's enjoying the game. He smiles, he's laughing with teammates, he enjoys being with this group and around this coaching staff. And he went as far as to say that he plays every game as a game of pickup basketball in his hometown. I need to travel over there and get in that game.
They get it back, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
The D cannot allow Millsap to get that deep inside the paint. He's just too good in there.
And the first one at the line is good. And Paul Millsap, a 4-time All-Star in Atlanta. Greg, as we know, he missed most of last season after left wrist surgery.
A big loss after just signing that mega contract with the Nuggets. I mean, he's a lot older than most of their core, but a great fit in their front court and obviously one heck of a player.
Young inside. Millsap covering. And once again off the mark by Indiana. With 4 seconds on the clock. Snatched up. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
Well, you like to finish things on a positive.
And so it's the Denver Nuggets. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they production tonight. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a very convincing performance from the Nuggets so far.
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
So on the floor for Denver, they've got Plumlee. Morris is out there with Beasley. Then it's Trey Lyles. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And you look at the all-around game of Trey Lyles. Brent, effective and efficient.
Had a great stretch last year with the Denver Nuggets. A good shooter and a good rebounder. Not quite sure about what position that he plays, but still adding some strength and a solid contributor. He could have an extended 10 or 12-year career if he finds the right fit.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Paul Millsap is an all-star forward whose dedication to the game is reflected in his year-to-year improvement. He said, "The drive to the gym is where I find my peace, getting my mind prepared. I come with the mindset of getting better. It's gotten me this far." Kevin?
He is a true professional. David, thank you.
Gentlemen.
The 6'11" Mason Plumlee out of Duke, Greg. He's got a live body.
Very athletic, Kevin. And his mobility enables him to defend smaller players on the perimeter. Offensively, he is a threat to finish at the rim.
Sabonis, he's checked in for Indiana. Bogdanovich comes in for Tyreek Evans. McDermott. Sabonis inside. Lyles there. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at the Clippers, off to a great start this season, currently in second. And, of course, Denver, a game and a half out.
And when I look at Denver, they've started the season on a high note. We thought it may take a while for them to kind of find their groove, but it doesn't look like they're going anywhere here. Any concerns about growing pains?
Well, if they're going anywhere, it's going to be up. They've been playing like a very mature, focused team here in the early part of the season. Not at all like the team that so many people thought would be hanging around the bottom of the standings at this point.
Shoots. Here's O'Quinn, and it's sent back by Plumlee.
Big athletic guys like Plumlee, hard to get your shot over them before they can get their hands up.
And this is what happens when you fail to block out.
Defensive rebounding just as important as causing the miss in the first place.
Miles Turner, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Pacers trail by 10. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Joseph kicks to Sabonis. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Shoots from the elbow. They get it again. Outside for Millsap. And another miss by Denver. And it's Joseph with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Pacers. Pass to Sabonis. We have so many great point guards in the league right now, Brent. Which of them do you think does the best job of running the pick and roll?
I think Chris Paul still heads up the top of my list for pick and roll operators. He's so devastating and has been for his entire career in the mid-range, just settling in at the free throw line and popping shots that seem effortless, and he's able to knock it down. Steph Curry is still at the point guard position, does so many unique things, Kevin, playing without the basketball and setting screens away from the ball to open up teammates, which eventually gives him opportunities to shoot threes. So divergently different, those two, but two of my favorites to watch.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Some numbers here on Jamal Murray. He's one of the standouts over the last month. He's around 18 points per game, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
6 to shoot. Jokic against Turner. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Jokic passes to Murray. Beyond the arc. And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Really hasn't come together for them as a group in terms of free throw shooting, just around 70% on the season.
The first free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Denver leading by 8. Here's Harris. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 3 assists in the game.
Terrific work inside from Gary Harris. Not used to saying that. Does a fantastic job of backing down the defense and putting his will on his shoulders.
Bogdanovich Misses from short range.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Well, burning up the defense right now is Millsap on the interior, just finding enough space to create scoring chances.
Bogdanovich wide open. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Bogdanovich has got his first 3 points of the game.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
Here's Millsap. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Nuggets lead by 11.
Just competing right now. Millsap wanting to make the most out of that possession.
Holiday looking over the floor. Turner against Jokic. And it's sent back by Jokic. Here's Murray. And Denver again with the bucket.
Well, he's a tremendous shooter, is Jamal Murray, and nice to see him get to the mid-range and knock that one down.
And so it's Denver. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our half. After 2 quarters, it's Denver out in front. They have a 13-point lead. And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
Well, they've been playing with some toughness. And it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. Now they need to stay mean, Ernie. Cannot lose that edge in the second half.
And, Kenny, let's get your input on the Pacers.
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their...
And...
a flyover of downtown gives you a great perspective of our location as we welcome you back to Indianapolis. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You know, Paul Millsap has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it is. He was bringing the effort down low.
Yeah, those extra possessions, considering how hard it can be sometimes to find offense, become invaluable.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Sabonis and Turner inside. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovich. Then it's McDermott. And it's Holiday in at the point guard. So that's the group out there for Indiana. The Pacers making a switch here. Collison's out there. And so it's Jokic with it. He brings it up for the Nuggets.
And with the playmaking in Denver's front court, point guard Jamal Murray is free to hunt his shot. Very comfortable playing off the ball.
Sabonis with the bucket.
Well, Sabonis can play there on the block. That's where he did a lot of damage in college, so him working inside, that's a good sign.
Murray dishes to Millsap. Denver the rebound.
And the offensive rebounding, really the story here today. Even with the big lead, they're still showing more hustle on the boards.
Great positioning on the glass, jumping all over that miss and sticking it back in.
And you look at Jamal Murray's assist numbers, he's more like a 2-guard.
Well, he's kind of a combo, 6'4", 6'5"-ish, but you can't have enough shooting. Quick trigger.
Here's Hernan Gomez. And the 3 off target. Pacers trail by 16. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, the Pacers have been a huge surprise since they traded away Paul George. Now, Coach Nate McMillan said, for us, it's about developing that culture and that identity, and we're still doing that. I think we're only starting to scratch the surface. Kevin?
No doubt, David, they've got some promising young players on that team. Thank you.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
And Turner throws it down.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. And good that time. That's 12 points for Jokic.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Millsap's against Sabonis. the 8-footer. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Sabonis has got 4 this quarter.
Boy, can he finish in the paint. That's one thing we know he's good at.
And that one's good, Jokic.
Man, Jokic is making all kinds of plays here tonight. Very aggressive on the offensive end.
There's the pass to Sabonis. Over Millsap. And the shot is good. The Denver lead has been cut down to 14 points now in the basket from Sabonis.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Jokic, no good. The Pacers have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Sabonis, that shot off the mark. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Nuggets leading by 14. Last season, Brent, the addition of 2-way contracts. Does that make developing players in the G League even more valuable than it was before?
I believe last year, Kevin, that almost 50% of the players in the league, and it might have been a smidge more, had some kind of G League experience.
It's terrific.
And that's phenomenal.
Yes.
We're almost close to the 30-for-30 affiliation in the G League. You saw a success story last year in Quinn Cook coming up and getting a contract with the Warriors. This is awesome for the league. They've also upped the minimum contract for G League players to $35,000. All of these signs and the way that teams are using the G League, extremely positive, Kevin.
And the Pacers call time here. One of the stories here, Nikola Jokic getting it done today.
Yeah, the defense has not provided any threat to stop him out there, so it should come to no surprise that he continues to attack the basket.
Ends up with a new group on the floor. Let's now pause to take a look at the scoring breakdown between the front and back court of tonight's contests for the Pacers.
And despite the deficit, you know, they're the front line has battled and provided a sizable majority of their offense. They are holding up their end. They just need that backcourt to step up.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
And when the D is this non-existent, it's pretty easy for shooters. Fishing with dynamite.
Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Joseph. Thaddeus Young on the wing. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. The shot comes out. Now Denver takes it the other way. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
That's a layup for him. He's just too open.
And it's Joseph with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. It's a 16-point game. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Young left side. Fires from the wing. And that misses badly. Air ball. Beasley with a clean look. And a miss there on the triple. Gets it off. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. Nikola Jokic firing on all cylinders for the Denver Nuggets. His performance that quarter has earned him a double-double. Seems like he's been everywhere. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Taking a look at the Nuggets, Plumlee out there with Lyons, and it's Beasley in at the 2-guard spot.
Victor shows a little bit of touch there from the mid-range, a knockdown shooter from that spot on the floor.
On its way from Beasley for 2, and here's Morris for 3. Cans it from downtown.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And Joseph kicks to Oladipo. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Anabogu. Rebound by the Nuggets. For 3, Beasley kept alive. Here's Plumlee, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
Well, don't get surprised by that burst from Plumlee. He crashes in for the rebound, has the athleticism, and finishes with authority.
Oladipo against Beasley. Now, here is Young. Not a lot of room. Kicks to O'Quinn. Pass to Anabogu. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Friday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the San Antonio Spurs. And then on Monday, they'll be matching up against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz. Pacers trail by 19. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. On the wing, Harris. Guarded by Oladipo. But they recover it. They get it back. Right side, Millsap. Over Sabonis. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. He kicks it to Bogdanovich. And the shot is long. The Nuggets leading by 19 points. Here's Hernan Gomez. Second chance shot. And there's the play inside by Millsap.
They continue to be outworked and outmuscled on the backcourt.
Outside Collison. Sabonis inside. Millsap covering. Sabonis with the bucket.
Yeah, certainly an attitude change at halftime. After sort of wandering around in the first, he's kicked it into gear here for the second frame.
Hernan Gomez kicks to Murray. Here's Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. 16 points for Jokic.
I swear Jokic is out there playing with the watch on because of the timing aspect of his game.
Sabonis inside. Millsap's there. That one drops for him. Sabonis has got 4 this quarter.
This is where you want the shots to come from, deep inside the paint and high percentage opportunities.
Here's Hernan Gomez. Second shot opportunity, and Jokic lays it up and in.
Yeah, Jokic in a smart place there, collects the offensive rebound, very alert, and cleans up the mess.
Collison finds Bogdanovich. Sabonis against Millsap. At the top of the key, Turner. Clock at 6. Millsap against Sabonis. And it's sent back by Millsap.
Great block from Millsap, sending that one back.
And it's Millsap with the ball for the Denver Nuggets. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Denver.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jokic.
Well, a consistent intensity is what he brought to the floor here. He hit the glass hard, and he came up with a ton of rebounds.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're behind by 25. 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nikola Jokic.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
This was a big game for him. There's no denying that. Coming off a bunch of losses in a row, they turned to him to break the streak, and he delivered in a big way. On offense, here are the Nuggets. They're on a 15-6 run. Young with the steal. Joseph against Murray. Quinn slams it in.
And finally hitting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
You look at Paul Millsap's career and just how much has changed from being the role player in Utah and scoring around the basket to becoming part of that great run in Atlanta where he expanded his game to the three-point line. Now that scoring and that rebounding is a huge part of what they need here in Denver.
And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The first one falls.
Man, what a luxury if Murray can play both guard positions, a perfect blend of shooting.
Here's Joseph. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. From outside, off the mark. The Nuggets now on offense. The clock now can just run out for the Nuggets. Hernan Gomez. And another miss by Denver. And here is Joseph. Dishes it to McDermott. Lets the three fly. Hits the three-point bomb.
Pretty thing right there. McDermott shooting the basketball from the perimeter. And when he's beyond the arc, he is.